I was nobody from Sangamon County. A railsplitter's son who read law by firelight, and lost more races than I'd like to count. When they told me I'd be running against Stephen Douglas for the Senate seat in 1858, half the men in Springfield laughed. Douglas was a giant not in height, God knows, he barely cleared my shoulder but in reputation. The little giant, they called him. I was just Lincoln. We agreed to 7 debates across Illinois. Freeport, Ottawa, Jonesboro, Charleston, Galesburg, Quincy, Alton. I had nothing to lose and everything to prove. At Ottawa, Douglas came out swinging. He accused me of wanting to make black men the social and political equals of white men, twisting my words into something I had to answer carefully. I told the crowd plainly I did not believe in perfect social equality, but I believed with everything in me that the man who produces, by his toil deserves to eat the bread his own hand earns. That no man has a right to enslave another. The crowd was divided. I could feel it. Freeport was where I turned the tables. I asked him straight, if the people of a territory voted to exclude slavery before statehood, could they do it despite the Dred Scott decision? He had to answer. He said yes, that local legislation could effectively exclude slavery regardless of the court. The crowd cheered him. I let them cheer. Because I knew what that answer cost him it broke him with the South. He could win Illinois that day and lose the presidency in 2 years. And that is exactly what happened. By Galesburg the weather was brutal, cold wind tearing across the Knox College platform, but the people stayed. Thousands of them. I argued that this nation could not survive permanently half slave and half free. Douglas argued for popular sovereignty, for letting each state and territory decide. I kept asking decide what? Whether men are property. That is not a question geography should answer. At Alton, the last debate, I felt something settle in me. I had spent 7 encounters being called a radical, a race mixer, an agitator. I told them I had never wavered on the central idea, that the spread of slavery was a moral wrong, and that wrong had to be named, even when naming it cost you. I did not win the Senate seat. Douglas took it. But something else happened in those 7 debates. The country read the transcripts. Every newspaper printed them. And when 1860 came, the Republican Party needed a man who could speak plainly about hard things without flinching. They came to me. I had spent 1858 losing an argument in 7 towns across Illinois. It turned out that was exactly the preparation the moment required.